some great receivers. And his best job, give the ball to Emmitt Smith.
Okay, what about Bernie Kosar? How fast has he picked up things here for the Cowboys?
Well, I think Jimmy Johnson expected him to have 30 plays available in his part of the game plan. Well, he and North Turner got together. He has 63 plays on a list on his wrist.
Troy Aikman is inactive. He is not dressed for this game in uniform, so inactive today. How about Emmitt Smith's game plan? We talked to him.
Emmitt Smith's game plan, 30 to 35 carries, 150 yards plus, and catch some ground on Barry Sanders' idol today.
Question also during the week, who would start at quarterback for the Cardinals? It'll be Chris Chandler, who posted big numbers against Dallas last year. He led them to victory, in fact, last week did Chandler against the Eagles. And what a big game for their running back, rookie Ron Moore, a week ago.
Feature the attack running game. Go after the Dallas defense. Don't try to run sideways. They're too fast.
And the Cardinals will have it to begin this game as Phoenix has won the toss. Eddie Murray to kick to Johnny Bailey and Anthony Edwards. Murray's kick. Bailey slips at the goal line.
Better get on it.
And it'll be a touchback. Chandler starting for the second straight week. Steve Berline, the backup for the Cowboys last year, with a banged up knee, so Chandler gets the call. Here's the offensive line that helped power the Cardinals to 200 plus yards rushing a week ago. In the backfield, Ron Moore, third leading rookie rusher in pro football. Randall Hill starts in front of Gary Clark. Ricky Prohl, Reeves, and Roll. They'll actually come out with Larry Sinners in the backfield, but the pitch is to Ron Moore, and he darts ahead for about 6. Here's the Dallas Cowboys defense. Jeff Coke will start ahead of Haley. Back problems for Haley, but he will see action. Linebackers, the outstanding rookie Darren Smith from Miami. Norton's in the middle with Dixon Edwards, also on the outside. And the secondary, Brown and Smith on the corners. Everett and Woodson are the safeties. Second down and 4. Way too high for Walter Reeves. Chris Chandler has tried to change the attitude here in the last 2 weeks, Randy. He's talking about having a lot of fun, trying to loosen up the bunch from Phoenix.
Well, I think this entire team and organization is so uptight after Bill Bidwell, their owner, gave them that ultimatum at the beginning of the year. Then they get reminded of it on a weekly basis. And Chandler just brought up the fact that, hey, guys, it is just a game. It's supposed to be fun. Let's just go out and have fun. This is a team and a whole city and organization. They've got nothing to lose football-wise.
Chandler hit when he threw it, and the pass at the feet of Ricky Prohl. Gant on the coverage.
And Russell Maryland was all over Chandler. Watch the penetration, and he gets his penetration by the first 2 steps. Watch Maryland, 67 right there. He is by Mark May. Cunningham, the center, slips, and Maryland is gone. And the key for the Cardinals from a passing standpoint is throwing quick passes. This is not a tall defensive line in the middle for the Dallas Cowboys, but you can't let them penetrate.
Camarillo to punt to Kevin Williams. Camarillo second to Roby in punting. Solid punt, fair catch made at the 39-yard line. 35 yards, no return. Jason Garrett's first start in the NFL. The last time he won as a starting quarterback his senior year at Princeton in a game against Yale 5 years ago this month. The offensive line remains the same for the 9th straight game this season. 2-8, Newton, Stepnoski, Gogan, and Williams. Emmitt Smith. 666 yards for Smith. He returned after the holdout in the first game against Phoenix. It was week 3 of the season. Smith's first action of 93. Here he is, Emmitt, for a quick 5. Chris Oldham on the hit. The Cardinals' big nickel defense revamped this week because of injuries. Mike Jones, Keith Rucker, Reuben Davis, Bankston Swan is noticeably absent, out for the year with a knee injury. Hill and Stowe are the linebackers, and they go with 5 members of the secondary. Massey with Zordich, Oldham, Lynch, and Aeneas Williams. Chuck Cecil will be playing only an obvious passing down. He's still suffering from a shoulder and neck injury. Second down, 5. Garrett hands off again. Smith this time stacked up after about 2 by Tyrone Stowe.
And this game for Dallas really rests in the hands of that big offensive line of the Cowboys. It's the best offensive line right now in the league, and this will be a game that'll be about the closest to the old Houston Veer wishbone offense you're going to see from a pro team. They're going to have that offensive line come off as much as possible, stay on the blocks, and let Emmett pick his holes, because the last thing they want is a young quarterback like Garrett to have to throw the ball, or an inexperienced in this offense quarterback like Bernie Kosar put in a pressure situation.
Let's see what Garrett does here on 3rd down and 3 for the Cowboys. Across the middle, Williams was defending on Irvin, and the flag comes in late.
They get a flag from the back like that. That's the official calling an early contact or holding.
Holding, number 35 defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
So Jason Garrett's first pass is sort of successful. You don't have to complete them to move the ball down the field, and you be the judge here on how early the contact comes and the hold. Aeneas Williams, having one of the better years of cornerbacks in the league, is caught right there in a situation where he was holding, I guess, with his right hand as the left hand went around to block the ball.
So a first down for the Cowboys from midfield. Garrett, second step drop, good pass. Michael Irvin knocked out of bounds at the 33. Actually, they rule him not out of bounds, but marked it at the 33, a gain of 16 yards.
And you'll see situations like this in the passing game from the Dallas Cowboys where you're constantly tempted to say, well, gee, Troy would have thrown this on a rope. And that's because of the timing and the ability of these receivers and quarterbacks to sync up. Garrett lobs it in, same effect, same yards.
First down for the Cowboys from the Phoenix 33. Smith straight ahead. Massey has a hold of him at the 26. We'd like to welcome those of you who've watched the 49ers defeat Tampa Bay 45-21. Jerry Rice caught 4 touchdowns in that game. Jim Nance and Randy Cross from Texas Stadium. The Cardinals won the toss, but they had the punt after 3 downs and out. And now the Cowboys on their opening possession are driving. They picked up a first down on a 3rd down play on an interference call against the Cardinals' Aeneas Williams. On 2nd and 3, Smith to about the 24. Massey on the hit. And we'd like to welcome those of you who've watched the Giants advance to 6-3 on the season. They held the Redskins today to only a couple of field goals, and they sweep the Redskins on the season. Jim Nance and Randy Cross at Texas Stadium with 10:45 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Cardinals had the first possession of this game, but were forced to punt. And now the Cowboys driving on their first series. They started Jason Garrett at quarterback. Now facing 3rd and 1. Emmitt Smith will not get the first down. Eric Hill came up to make the hit, take him back for a loss.
And one of the real pluses and byproducts of having a big defensive line like the Cardinals have is having a linebacker behind them who more often than not is not going to be hit, is not going to be picked up by an offensive lineman, and can run sideline to sideline.
So Eddie Murray, who was signed the 3rd week of the season, you saw his performance, 16 out of 19. It's been sterling. This is a 44-yard try. Novacek on the hold. And the Cowboys on their first possession, net 3.
1 minute, 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
There's no such thing as a moral victory in football, but the Cardinals on their first possession defensively have to be happy that they did not give up a touchdown, because they aren't attacking this Dallas defense right now. They aren't coming out with the change of pace you might have expected. They're just playing them as a good, solid defense.
6 seconds to go, and the Packers will attempt a game-winning field goal. Chris Jackie at the Superdome. 49ers now 6-3. So are the Giants. Don Shula gets win number 325. Philadelphia was driving late in that game, and James Lofton dropped a key pass that would have given the Eagles a 1st and goal at the 5 within 2 minutes to go in that game. Raiders have scored a quick touchdown. Seahawks over Cleveland. And the word on the field goal from Green Bay is good. Chris Jackie from 36 yards. And Green Bay leads 19-17 with 3 seconds remaining. Here's Johnny Bailey. Cardinals running it out from the 5. James Washington gets a wrap on him at the 26. So here's a look at it. Jackie from 36 yards at the Superdome. Now they'll kick to the Saints. Packers trying to get to 5-4. Talking to the Cardinals this week, Randy, they said, we have to play a perfect game to have a chance against the Cowboys.
They're very perceptive. They have to play a perfect game here. What they need perfection-wise is to have Moore running the ball effectively inside, Chris Chandler throwing the ball outside short, and their defense stopping Emmitt Smith. That's perfect.
Out of the eye, centers is the fullback, Moore is the tailback. Coming up to make the play is Ken Norton. Give yourself a hand for that one. Beautiful play.
You've heard a lot about these Dallas Cowboys playing so well, and people want to say, well, gee, they're not really hurt. They haven't had any injuries. Well, Troy Aikman's got a bad hamstring. Norton tore his bicep muscle. Charles Haley's got a bad back. This is a team that is banged up. It is injured. But when you're on this kind of roll and you're winning, there's a big difference between pain and injury.
Phoenix doesn't want to hear about injuries. They've got their share as well. 2nd down and 10. Randall Hill dropped it. That would have given the Cardinals a 1st down at the 38. He was clobbered by Larry Brown and Thomas Everett.
Pass intended for Randall Hill, number 81, 1st down, defensive contact, number 24, Larry Brown.
You'll see Randall Hill coming over towards the middle with a high pass from Chandler, and he plays the peanut butter and jelly to the sandwich right there in the middle. That's a heck of a shot. It's a kind of catch that Randall Hill, I think, was very known for at Miami, and it's the kind of catch that Randall Hill has had the most difficulty with here in the NFL.
It is 3rd and 10. Charles Haley has come in for the first time for the Cowboys. Jeff Coates started at defensive end. On 3rd and 10, the pass incomplete, intended for Gary Clark, who wanted an interference call. Bill Bates helping out on the secondary with James Washington.
Well, now after 2 series, it seems that Butch Davis's Dallas defense has just decided, hey, we're going to get extremely physical with the receivers of the Cardinals. If they want to try to run the ball to set up the pass, we're going to take their wide receivers out of the game. And you've seen every time they've dropped back to pass, the defenders for Dallas have been all over the Cardinal receivers.
3 downs and out for the 2nd straight time, and Camarillo to kick to Kevin Williams. Big one, too. Backpedaling to the 20. Williams gets a look straight ahead, takes a tackle, and stumbles out across to the 31-yard line. That one traveled 54 yards, 11 yards on the run back. And the rookie from Miami has a few words. The special team members of the Cardinals. But the Cowboys and Jason Garrett, we're expecting to see Bernie Kosar, both of them alternating in and out during this game today.
Jimmy Johnson says that is going to happen. Bernie Kosar will come in when things are a little more solid, not when we're backed up.
Emmitt Smith, good room, and plows ahead to the 42 with a flag. 12-yard run by Smith. And we'd like to welcome those of you who've watched the Green Bay Packers rebound from the Monday night loss at Kansas City. Chris Jackie's field goal won it in the closing seconds. Jim Nance and Randy Cross from Texas Stadium.
Holding, offense, number 80, 10 yards, repeat first down.
And our referee, Larry Nemmers, gets that penalty on Alvin Harper. And one thing the receivers for Jimmy Johnson do extremely well, Harper and Irvin, is block. They block extremely well, and Irvin keeps making the point, my blocking sets up my pass receiving.
For those of you who just joined us, the Cowboys lead 3-0. Cardinals have had the football in 2 possessions and have failed to pick up a first down. Cowboys now with their second series. The first time they drove as deep as the Phoenix 24-yard line, eventually settling for an Eddie Murray field goal from 44 yards. 8:30 remaining first quarter.
Conference on the field taking the halftime food orders.
You want pepperoni or mushrooms?
The holding on the offensive team occurred 9 yards downfield. The 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st and 11.
Well, the Cowboys have to like that. Instead of 1st and 20, which they were about to get underway, it's going to be 1st and 11.
And that block started on the line of scrimmage. By the time they called it, it was 9 yards down the field. Because Harper was all over Aeneas Williams.
Please set the game clock to 8:26. 8:26.
So the timing issue will be settled, and the clock had inadvertently run to 8:20. So they replenish the time by 6 seconds, and the Cowboys set now for 1st and 11. Hill on the tackle of Smith. At the 34, Garrett's first NFL start. We're, of course, excluding the preseason. Played a little bit in the CFL with Ottawa, and then in the World League with the San Antonio Riders. He started 3 games. Didn't win in any of the 3 games. That's why we told you at the top, his last win as a starting quarterback, November of '88, when he quarterbacked Princeton past Yale.
If that's a whistle, that's a whistle, but it sounds like a grinding halt alarm to me for the last 2 or 3 plays on this thing. The officials have sort of taken over.
False start prior to the snap. Number 79 offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Well, this series has been a little bit disrupted. Cowboys have had the football for 8 plays, and 7 of them have been running attempts by Emmitt Smith. 2nd down and 12.
It's in the 3-4 defense, anticipating a pass out of Dallas.
Great protection. And the ball taken out of the hands of Smith. Ken Harvey came in.
And you know, Jim, he should have had all the time in the world. When you're rushing 3 defensive linemen against that Dallas offense, Garrett should stand back there all by himself. Watch the guys up front coming after. You got Jones, Bankston, and Freddie Joe Nunn, and I mean, this is a mismatch. Garrett could have stayed back there another 10 seconds to see if somebody could have come open.
3rd down and 12. the Cardinals shore up the defense with Chuck Cecil in the game. Kevin Williams in as a receiver for Dallas. Garrett, long ball in the area of Harper, but he ran the route somewhat out of bounds. Was pushed at, I believe, more like it, near midfield. And he's telling them about it.
Oh, you can guarantee you, Alvin Harper is going to tell everybody what he thinks. Whether you got a striped shirt on, a red shirt on, a Dallas coach's shirt on, he's a guy of many opinions, and he will voice it.
Johnny Bailey, who has run a punt back for a touchdown this season. That came in the first quarter against the Redskins at RFK. John Jett to the 18. Here comes Bailey. Johnny Bailey to the 32. We have 6:52 remaining in the first quarter, and there is a flag on that punt return. Punt of 53 yards by John Jett. May have been a face mask. You know, I mentioned the Bailey run back for a touchdown. Hold against the Cardinals. The Phoenix offense has not scored a touchdown in the first quarter this season in 9 games. They have 2 touchdowns. One was a fumble return.
Holding on the return team, number 83. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
1 touchdown in the first quarter on a fumble recovery by Aeneas Williams. The other, the run back on a punt by Johnny Bailey. But the offense will be on the field for the Cardinals when we come back. 3-0 Cowboys in the first. Dallas leads on an Eddie Murray field goal from 44 yards. Chris Chandler and the Cardinals wanting to have a lot of fun, but it hasn't been the case so far on offense.
Not offensively. 6 plays, 6 yards. They're averaging 308 yards a game offensively, so only 302 plays to go to their average yardage.
Chandler, who started 13 games last year at quarterback, has missed on his first 4 attempts. First down, Phoenix from its 22. Right into the wall at the line of scrimmage. Tony Tolbert smacked him first.
Watch what the defensive line does on this play for the Dallas defense. It is very impressive. All the way across here, they are just going to do it. They're going to get the offensive line. They're going to stand them up. Watch them stand them up, maintain their spots. There is nowhere for more to go. You can't hit slow against the Dallas defense. If you don't attack them right away, you might as well not run.
Second down and 9. Chandler, first completion. It's push roll, but only for short yardage. Dixon Edwards was with him man for man.
Another good example of that speed of the Dallas defense. Seems like Rolls out there all by himself. He got 5, 6, 7 yards, and suddenly that gap is closed quickly.
Let's see if the Cardinals can pick up a first down. They haven't had one so far.
Well, this year, the go-to guy, the man they want to get the ball to, has been Ricky Prohl.
Gary Clark's in the game. Some shifting around on 3rd and 6. Chandler, no Cardinal in the area. This is a real quick way of wearing out your own defense.
That pass there was over Joe Bugle's head. It was obviously a lack of communication between the receivers on that side, Randall Hill, Ricky Prohl, and Chandler, because Chandler, the nearest people to that were the defenders of Dallas.
So the Phoenix defense will have to return because, once again, the Cardinals, 3 plays and a punt.
And it's a beat-up defense, Jim. They can't afford to keep that defense on the field.
Camarillo's last punt traveled 54 yards. Williams at the 30 takes the first man down there. That's brought down by Larry Centers at the 35. 44-yard punt, 5-yard run back. Cowboys with that 6-game win streak, leading 3-0 in the opening quarter.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever. And by Canon, a world leader in office equipment.
First down for the Cowboys, and get set for Bernie Kosar's first play as the Cowboy. Play action. Complete to Irvin at the 50.
And that, Jim, is why Bernie Kosar came into the game right now. Garrett was ineffective throwing the ball, was getting good pass protection, and they just want a chance to get the ball in the air and get some yards. Now take a look at Irvin working here against Robert Massey. This is a timing pattern. Quarterback has to have faith, receiver has to have faith, the ball will be there. Kosar zips it out on a rope.
Irvin is shaken up. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. 3-0 Cowboys.
When you have your tires aligned, they use the term high-speed wobble. Well, watch the left ankle of Michael Irvin do a high-speed wobble right there on this AstroTurf. As the turf bites, the foot doesn't move and the rest of the body does.
So the leading receiver with almost 900 yards on the season hobbles to the sideline, replaced by Kevin Williams. Now on first down, Michael Bankston, the big tackle for a loss on Emmitt Smith. Dropped them for about a 4-yard setback.
Earlier in the quarter, we saw a great job of penetration by Russell Maryland of the Cowboys. Watch 63, Bankston working right there against Jay Novacek, comes straight upfield. Novacek does not get his head back in front of him, and that's the basic. When you're a lineman, a running back, or a receiver trying to block, you've got to get your head in front of a defensive lineman or they'll run right through. It's a great example.
Bankston, second year from Sam Houston State, returns to his home state. He dropped Smith for a 5-yard loss. Bernie's second pass as a Cowboy. It is complete as well, and it's Darrell Johnston, Moose, for about 5. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys. 3:30 remaining in the first quarter.
And a good confidence throw by Bernie Kosar. So far, he's going to have an effective running game. This is the best running game in the league, I think. And passing-wise, he's got to get these timing patterns down. He's got to get some completions under his belt before he tries to do anything complicated.
Got the plays on his left wrist. Bernie called a timeout. Timeout called by the Cowboys. 3:07 remaining first quarter. Dallas near midfield, leading by a field goal. Kosar had to take the timeout for the Cowboys. There's the wristband. The plays reduced on a computer to a small size, 63 plays on that wrist. 3rd down and 9, we'll call it. Michael Irvin, by the way, back in the game. And there he is, Irvin at the 31-yard line. First down, Dallas.
Gee, what a shame. Too bad Bernie can't throw anymore, huh?
Definitely looks like diminishing skills to me.
Without a doubt. I mean, that ball never got off a line. That's not a good sign for a quarterback. They shouldn't do things like that. Michael Irvin down the field. Good crisp pattern. And just cuts underneath there. That ball is delivered nearly perfectly. Massey played good defense. Nice pass by Bernie.
First down from the 31. Left guard, left tackle, and then scooted to the outside for 15.
And that's the kind of thing that an Emmitt Smith or a Barry Sanders can kill you with. Against a four-man line, these things happen. The defensive line did a fine job of holding up the offensive line. The pursuit from the inside with the linebackers and the extra safety from the defensive backfield wasn't there. Emmitt saw it and just took a shot.
Smith with 37 yards rushing here in this first quarter. Garrett directed the first two drives, led them to a field goal. Now Kozar's first series, and Smith down to the 11. 1:25 remaining first quarter. Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys lead 3-0. Nate Newton threw a good block for Smith.
And remember, Emmitt Smith is chasing Barry Sanders, who is idle today. Detroit has the day off. Sanders takes advantage of a nice block by Michael Irvin. Take a look at this. Irvin coming off, going inside for a safety. Not a physical block, more of a wall block and a semi-hold, but if they don't call it, it's not holding. It's a nice job by Michael Irvin.
2nd and 4. Smith moving the pile to about the 8. Be a little shy, I believe, of the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
And you really sense a bounce back in the Dallas offense. I mean, they're coming up off the ground faster. They seem to be in the huddle with confidence. Bernie Kosar has made a difference for these veterans. They have the confidence in a Kosar that a veteran like Kosar demands.
They're going to bring the chains out, and Bernie will steal some time to go over and talk with Jimmy Johnson and Robert Ford, who is the running backs coach for the Cowboys.
And this is the key part of the field when you start thinking about new quarterbacks and new systems. Down here in the red zone when you're throwing the ball is when everybody has to be on the exact same thought process inside. The defenses drop, you have to throw underneath the defenses.
Bernie Kosar in his 9th year in the NFL. He and Jimmy Johnson crossed paths for one season at Miami. That was 1984, Johnson's first year at Miami. 3rd and less than a yard. 8th play of this series. Time running down first quarter. Emmitt, first down. And wiggles to the 4.
And wiggles and wiggles and goes.
Kosar driving them toward the end zone. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, the Dallas Cowboys 3, the Phoenix Cardinals nothing. We start the second quarter at Texas Stadium. Dallas leads 3-0, and the Cowboys have it 1st and goal from the 5. Jim Nance and Randy Cross with you this afternoon. Glad to have you with us. Kind of surprised how quick Irvin got back into the lineup after we saw that replay and the ankle roll over, but he's right back in there with a key reception on this series. Actually, 2. 2 tight ends. Smith outside. Lynch comes after him, but can't get him. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys.
Everything Jimmy Johnson does is based on speed. And here's a great example of what speed can do. There is nothing there. You saw Robert Massey fill inside. When Emmitt saw him fill inside, he knew the outside was open, and that's when the speed comes into play.
10-0 Cowboys. Scoring on the first play of the second quarter. Welcome to Big D, Bernie Kosar. He drives him for a touchdown in his first series. Well, the game summary, Kozar and Garrett sharing the quarterback duties today. And Smith scores his 11th rushing touchdown of his career against the Cardinals. Phoenix with 10 yards in 3 series. How about Dallas's 108 yards? Randy, you were doing some calculations.
Well, I figured out that they got a 50-50 split going with 54 running and 54 passing.
Call that a little balance, wouldn't you?
Is they need to run it successfully to give Chandler a little breathing room. He's getting hammered.
Through the back of the end zone.
Let's take a look at that touchdown. I mentioned Robert Massey. Watch him here and Emmett here. As Emmett comes, he fills, and you see Emmett immediately react outside. There goes Emmett up, there goes Massey up, and when he sees Massey fill, he's gone.
So the Cardinals start right back at the 20 again. Ricky Prohl steps out of bounds at the 29. Ricky Prohl has caught 6 touchdowns this season, had a franchise-tying streak of 5 consecutive games with at least 1 touchdown. Although he hasn't found the end zone in a couple of weeks, so he might be a little anxious to get back to Bader.
Well, football's an important thing, but Ricky's also extremely happy. He and his wife Kelly had a little baby girl, so he's just got that kind of new father smile on his face, and that would make him happy to get a touchdown.
Alexandria, congratulations. 2nd and 1, and that's a first down carry by Ron Moore. What about this rookie running back from Pittsburgh State? He was a 4th rounder. All the headlines, of course, entering the year centered around Garris and Hurst, but Moore has been something else.
And Moore is a guy that really benefited from the holdout of Garris and Hurst in the preseason. He's the guy who came into camp, got all the reps, started to get noticed, and suddenly he leads them in rushing. Hurst comes in, does some, but even that opener against Philadelphia, Moore had a good game and hasn't let up much. 160 yards for a rookie is incredible. How does he follow it up? We'll see today.
That's the numbers last week. 160, the most by a running back at Phoenix in 8 years. He stumped Mitchell. Chandler threw it away as the Cowboys were blitzing. Russell Maryland had some heat on the quarterback. And Leon Lett returns to action today. He's in right now for the Cowboys.
And this is a Dallas defense that is without basically Charles Haley. You will see him some, but the Cowboys' most disruptive defender is still suffering from that back that will bother him most of the day, and playing in his stead is Jeff Coat. But look for Dallas to come after Chandler in these situations. They know the receivers can be muscled.
2nd down and 10. Chandler, good grab by Anthony Edwards. Yes, he makes the catch. At the 41, it'll be 3rd and a yard to go.
And Edwards has really benefited from Randall Hill's inability of late of making plays, and Edwards has taken advantage of that. Nice job of laying out and getting the arms and hands between the ball and the ground.
Dallas and Eric Williams checking out some formations. 3rd and 1. And the Cardinals dive with Ron Moore. They had Garth Jacks lined up as a fullback, and he helped clear the way for Phoenix's 2nd first down. Garth Jacks came in on that short yardage situation.
And 2 weeks ago, as a lead blocker, suffered a bit of a concussion, got knocked out of the game for a while, but it's something that Joe Bugle just had to have. He doesn't have a big physical fullback type, and especially with the injuries he's had, he's had to resort to the linebacker.
Cardinals moving the football for the first time today. First down at 10 on the bootleg. Centers has it, makes a nice move, and gets into Dallas territory. Cardinals and Cowboy territory for the first time. We've got an update, so we'll send it back to New York to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, Mile High Stadium in Denver from 3 yards out. Robert Del Pino with the touchdown. Denver's lead over the Vikings is now 13-3 early in the second quarter. Back to Big Jim and Big Randy and Big D.
And I think I saw some big flakes at Mile High Stadium, and Denver leading by 10, as are the Cowboys 10-0 in this one. They're going to bring out the chains to see if the Cardinals picked up the first down. You see Derek Lassick, the rookie running back. The first game between these two, he scored 2 touchdowns. Cardinals move the chains one more time.
Cleveland 2.
Joe Bugle knows the best way to defend this Dallas defense is to have your offense do these kinds of things. Hold on to the ball, move the chains, get first downs. But the challenge for the Phoenix offense really is when you get on the Dallas side of the ball, what can you do with it? Can you get it in the end zone?
Ron Moore. Chad Hennings brings him down at the 44. 11:30 remaining in the first half.
Defensively for Dallas, Chad Hennings and Dr. Miles on the stop. Gain of 3 on the play, second down, 7 at the 44-yard line in Dallas territory.
8th play of this series, and it's 2nd and 7. Chandler. Kroll came back inbounds for it. And he's down at the 10. Now, he was out of bounds and came back in to make the catch.
And that was caught by 2 officials. 2 flags hit the ground. Not to mention Chris Chandler, who really hit the ground.
Jim Jeffcoat pummeled the quarterback.
I'm glad we got rid of replay so we could quicken the pace of the football games here in the league. We replaced replay with delay.
Dropped replay, but it reinvented the art of conferencing.
And this just might be sort of like Holyfield Bow with that delay they had in the fight. Chandler's getting a little chance after that hit from Jeffcoat to relax and regroup and sort of make sure all the body parts are in the right places, because he's taken some good shots from Jeffcoat and several members of that defensive line.
Was Prohl pushed out of bounds and came back in? Let's find out.
We have the eligible receiver forced out of bounds on the play. He was interfered with while he was forced out, came back in, touched the pass for illegal touching. The penalties will offset, still second down.
You gotta be kidding me.
That says it all. That's the old Rosanna Dana. Never mind. Out of bounds. Interference. Comes back in. By the way, that didn't happen. We're going to just sort of do that all over again.
That 37-yard gain that you just saw was just a dream.
Kind of a nightmare for Joe Bugle. It's been a nightmare season. He has not gotten a break. You talk about a team that's had injuries, that's had mistakes, that's had big plays against them. This is the organization.
Second down and 7. Counter with Johnny Bailey in a quick burst to the 40. However, they're 3 yards shy of the first down. Tony Casillas tackled him at the 40.
Tony Casillas, number 75, and number 59 there on the stop for Dallas.
Johnny Bailey comes in and gives his team a lift in third down situations quite often, so he's in there in a split backfield. 3rd down and 3. The Cardinals quickly to the line of scrimmage.
An audible between the receivers and Chandler.
Norton Sutton threatening to blitz.
The left side of Sharp and May were drawn off by the defense there. There were about 5 seconds left on the clock. They got a little nervous and started backing up. The question is, were they drawn?
Number 67, offense prior to the snap. False start. The defense was in the neutral zone, and the defense has been warned.
Well, they got a warning, but the Cardinals get to look at 3rd and 8 now.
Bad boy, don't do that. You've been warned. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to slow down the defensive line. They can go in the neutral zone anytime they want as long as the ball's not snapped.
So you get one warning, and with the second one you get a ticket? Is that the deal? 3rd down and 8.
Demerits.
Oh, okay. You lose your license. Chandler batted down. That was Leon Lett.
And there's a relieved Dallas Cowboy. Leon Lett back in action. And here's the product of having a nice, tall defensive lineman. Leon Lett, definitely the tallest defensive tackle Dallas has. Russell Maryland and Tony Casillas, not very altitude-oriented defensive linemen, but Lett and Hennings are big, tall targets.
Camarillo. Williams will set the Cowboys up at the 13. 32 yards. Punt inside the 20-yard line. So the Cardinals drove it for a while, but come up empty. Dallas 10-0, second quarter. Next week, we'll have golf action. The Franklin Funds Shark Shootout, both Saturday and Sunday. The tournament hosted by Greg Norman, with the likes of Paul Azinger, Arnold Palmer, Nick Price, and Davis Love III. Star-studded field. Hope you'll join us. Looking forward to that next week. Kosar play action. Deep ball, man open. Under through Michael Irvin.
There's a case of Kosar needing to throw a 55, 60-yard ball in the air and threw it about 53. And right here is a guy that can throw it 70 yards in the air. That's the best arm going right now. And Troy with that hamstring, I would be very surprised if you saw him before Thanksgiving Day when the Cowboys play the Dolphins. More realistically, I think Troy Aikman plays against Philadelphia the week after that. They got to let that hamstring sit.
2nd and 10. Nothing for Smith. Bankston got him low, and Keith Rucker got him high. Rucker had a tender ankle coming into this game, but makes a good effort on that play.
Rucker was injured in practice on Wednesday, and Joe Bugle referred to it as more scared than hurt. He got his leg rolled over pretty good.
Browns are on the board with a safety. 7-2 Seattle, though. In the bottom of the second. Second quarter in that one. There are Bernie signs, welcoming signs scattered throughout Texas Stadium. 3rd down and 12. Kosar complete. Smith makes the move for the first down, and look out! Aeneas Williams pushes down an official to try to get to him. Williams with a block downfield, but Aeneas drags him down at the 1. Wait till you see this replay. 86 yards. Aeneas Williams had to fight through 2 screens, one from the back judge, and then a great block downfield by rookie Kevin Williams.
And you see why you don't blitz a veteran like Bernie Kosar? He's new to the system. Doesn't matter. Watch here, right there.
Wow.
Speed bump. It's a striped speed bump. Aeneas Williams fighting. Great effort by Aeneas Williams, but wonderful execution by Bernie Kosar. One more time. There's Aeneas Williams taking down the impediment, and Williams out there blocking. but he won't get that Williams, and Williams down Smith short of the end zone.
Timeout Cowboys, 1st and goal at the 2.
Great effort by everyone involved, but watch something. Here's Chuck Cecil, Pro Bowl safety, bad shoulder, can't follow through on the tackle, doesn't wrap him up, and you know, injuries come back to haunt you in more ways than guys not being on the field.
1st and goal, and Smith, did he get in? Well, I guess not. 2nd and goal, inches shy of the plane. Keith Rucker stopped the gap that time, closed the gap. You know, Chuck Cecil had him short of the 1st down, but we saw Cecil on the way in today. He says, I've never had an injury like this in my career, and obviously having a hard time being able to put a wrap on somebody with that stinger in his neck, shoulder.
No mystery here for Dallas, Jim. They've established a pattern. You run behind the big guys on the right side.
Smith again. Smith stacked up high by Lorenzo Lynch, and he did not get in.
And that was behind the big guys on the right side, and a great job by the Phoenix defense. And Lorenzo Lynch does his imitation of a flying linebacker, see him in motion, going with Novacek. Watch where he comes out right there. That is using every single gram of the weight in your body to stop a guy, because Lorenzo Lynch at 200 pounds will never be mistaken for a quarterback physically.
3rd and goal. Fake to Smith, roll out Kozar, zips it, touchdown Dallas. Jay Novacek. Bernie was flattened after he threw it.
Well, that play there goes to show you, if you've got eroding skills and you can't move around in the right kind of offense, you don't have to move around that much. How much more does Bernie have to move than this? Look at the protection he's getting. The defense doesn't get him until late.
Novacek on the hold now for Murray. Novacek's first touchdown catch of the season. Novacek had scored on a fake field goal against the Indianapolis Colts. So Kozar's driven them to 2 touchdowns. He has his first touchdown pass in a Cowboy uniform. 17-0. Cowboys with a 17-0 lead, 2 touchdowns here in the 2nd quarter. Emmitt Smith on a run from 4 yards, and then a Smith 86-yard catch and run, the 5th longest reception in Cowboy history to set up the Kozar touchdown toss to Jay Novacek. You saw Johnny Bailey, dangerous kick returner. Cardinals need something, jolt to get them going. And Bailey gets it out to the 26.
You'll see an example of a great job by a receiver staying with his quarterback on this touchdown by Dallas. Watch Jay Novacek come around. He'll go out of view, and then he'll come back into view in the back of the end zone. Bernie goes. Nothing is open. Nothing is open. Now watch Novacek reappear. I tell you that, Jim, the city of Cleveland was wrongly carried a name with that, the mistake on the lake for years and years, but I think you can refer to this trade or this cutting by Bernie Kozar as kind of like the mistake by the Browns on the lake. That was a terrible decision.
Ron Moore for a loss on the play. Now, it makes no sense at all. And you know there are a lot of Cleveland Brown fans who are Bernie Kozar fans rejoicing right now watching this performance by their hometown hero.
Well, the Browns are a team that have decided to go to a very conservative offense, and Bernie Kozar is a quarterback who made it very, very plain. He's a guy that likes to go to audibles, likes to take advantage of gambles by the defense, and you saw him burn the Cardinals on a gamble there with that pass to Smith to get him down to the goal line.
On one side, fan team down from Ohio for this game. 2nd down and 12. And Not enough zip on that one, going for Gary Clark. So 3rd and long, the Cardinals offense not staying on the field for very long. Chandler only 4 out of 12 in the first half.
And this brings a possibility for the Dallas defense and their coordinator, Butch Davis. They can practically do anything against this offense in 3rd and long like this. You can bring 3 linemen, you can bring 4 linemen, you can blitz, or you just drop and look for the pick.
3rd down and 12. Going for Clark, doubled up and knocked away. Kevin Smith helped bat it away. Cardinals will be forced to punt once again. 2 first downs in the first half. Give them 3 first downs for the Cardinals.
It was a good job by Chandler and the offensive line of getting the blitz, getting the blocking, getting the ball out there, but an equally good job by the defensive coverage of the Cowboys.
For the 4th time today, 3 downs and out. And that boot goes out of bounds. Kevin Williams will show him where the spot is. Derek Ware with a disagreement, but let's not lose sight of the spot as the officials are still trying to figure out where that one went out. There he is back there at the 42. They've made up their mind. Join CBS Sports next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern. More NFL action. Some will see the Bears in Kansas City take on the Chiefs, while others will watch Dallas at Atlanta, the Giants in Philadelphia, or Washington at the Rams. You'll have to check your local listings for the game being shown in your area. It all begins with the NFL Today. All you need to know on the NFL Today, 12:30 Eastern time here on CBS.
And Jim, if the plan was to blitz and get after Kozar, you better go to plan B.
Kozar fires, gets his man. It's Alvin Harper now gets into the loop. Alvin Harper leads the NFL in average yardage per catch and average yards per pass. 1 pass for 46 yards last week. He's 25 yards a clip on receptions, Randy.
And he's a receiver, Jim, that can do it because he's got a guy on the other side that absolutely terrifies defenses. Michael Irvin makes Alvin Harper's job a lot easier.
There he is, Alvin Harper, 25 yards a reception, 4 touchdowns. By the way, Emmitt Smith getting a rest. Derek Glass again on 2nd and 1. They go to Moose. Harold Johnston, who rumbles to the 44, maybe the 45 of Phoenix.
Emmitt Smith, the point was made last week about Emmitt Smith possibly being a little dinged up in the shoulder, specifically the right shoulder of Emmitt Smith. He's getting a little rest right now, but this is not a commodity when you've got an Aikman out too that you want to take any chances with.
Talking with the team doctor, Smith with 16 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. It's 2nd and 10. Johnston lined up as a tight end. And they crossed him up as Johnston's the receiver down to the 27. Johnston lining up on the right side as a tight end.
And Johnston is a receiver that's had big games against Phoenix. He makes the point that the Phoenix defense likes to run off with the receivers of Dallas, and when they do that, it opens it up for me. Look at 48, right in the middle. He's just the check-off receiver. When things aren't out there outside, Bernie has the safety valve to go to inside.
Kozar, 7 out of 8 for 152 yards and the touchdown. First down, Dallas. Classic. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Wow. He won't go down easy, will he? Chris Oldham and several others made contact on him.
Well, he's a running back who can take advantage of his opportunities, Jim. I mean, he hasn't had a chance to do much, and he can look over on the sidelines and he can see Emmitt Smith there. And let me tell you something, folks. You see that hat on his head? That's not to keep his head warm. When players put on hats on the sideline, it's not because they're planning on going right back in. It looks like Emmitt Smith is planning on a prolonged stay.
2nd and 11. Mishandle on the snap, and they turn it over. Cardinals recover.
Jimmy Johnson's biggest worry coming into this game was the coordination of Bernie with his offense, and specifically the coordination with his center, Mark Stepnoski.
Bankston fell on it. And Phoenix will take over with 3:03 remaining in the second quarter. Cardinals do have all of their timeouts remaining. Maybe that's the break they needed because the Cowboys were looking for the first half kill.
And watch the ball when it hits the ground. This is a case of a quarterback having an unfamiliar snap count, a center of like Stepnoski who loves to beat the count. He's a guy that's going to jam that ball up there fast, and they just have not worked enough together.
Larry Centers is the solo back. Chandler almost picked off by Darren Smith. We are told now from the Dallas Cowboys that Emmitt Smith has an upset stomach. And apparently stomach got a little upset after that 86-yard dash, and he may return to this game. He was sick when we visited with him yesterday.
Well, I get pretty much an upset stomach and get sick when I run 80 yards at a time, too, so I can understand that.
If I remember right, I think it's about 20 yards for you. You get an upset stomach.
No, that's oxygen after 20.
Not a pretty sight either. Emmitt's fighting off what he said was a bad cold. 2nd down and 10. Tolbert tried to wrestle Centers, and Smith comes up to finish him off with Jim Jeffcoat.
Tolbert didn't want any part of Larry Centers. He wanted the ball Larry Centers was holding. And that's the only reason he doesn't get the tackle, because he's trying to grab the football. Here's Tolbert, 92, fights through the block. Look at him. He's got nothing but football, and Centers just holds onto the ball and keeps spinning. But, you know, when you get to be a defense that's this aggressive, this fast, and to be perfectly honest with you, this confident and cocky, you start taking chances, and that comes under the category of taking a chance.
Approaching the 2-minute warning in the second quarter. 3rd and 14. Got to make a move to get the first. That won't do you any good. Randall Hill met by Kevin Smith. Randall Hill, who played in college for Jimmy Johnson. So the Cardinals, for the 5th time in this half, 3 downs and a punt. And we've reached the 2-minute warning.
You know, I think, Jim, in college you can make a move and make up 10 yards on a pass like that. In the pros, you lower your head, you take the yards you can get, because everybody's fast and nobody goes for moves.
17-0 Dallas. 2-minute warning. Coming up at halftime, back to our NFL Today studios. Greg and Terry with all the scores and highlights.
And like you heard Terry say on the NFL Today earlier, if Dallas gets in a 2-minute situation, look for Jason Garrett to come into the game, and when they get the ball back here, Jason Garrett will be back in at quarterback.
Jason Garrett was warming up on the sideline, so getting loose again. He played the first 2 series and led the Cowboys to a field goal. In fact, on their first drive of the game, he was 1 for 3 passing. And Kozar has taken over from that point, but now Garrett will return. That's exactly what Jimmy Johnson told us would be the case today. When one quarterback comes out of the game, that does not necessarily mean he will not return. Cowboys coming in on Camarillo, gets it away. He is a solid punter, long-lasting one in this league. But here comes Kevin Williams. And Williams chased out, maybe a late hit, yes.
That is a stupid play by Larry Centers. Clearly out of bounds. I mean, don't look around like, gee, what did I do, Larry? I mean, they've got white paint on the sidelines, and they have yellow lines on the sidelines, and he was into the yellow lines before he hit them. And Bugle's got to be telling him, what were you thinking?
Yeah, that's going to bring the football for Dallas near the 50 when they step off 15 yards.
Personal foul, number 37, late hit, out of bounds, will add 15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
Went for the head and everything.
Went for the head, but he was going for the head when he's
already out of bounds.
I think that's out in the Canadian Football League.
Penalties today, well, seems like we've had more whistles than that, doesn't it? Than 6 penalties?
We've had 6 conferences to go along with the 6 penalties, so it just seems long.
Cowboys will start from their own 47.
And this completely changes what Norv Turner and Jimmy Johnson can do offensively for the Cowboys. If they had an Aikman, you line up in the Big Ben and you bomb the thing down the field, and Troy could throw it into the end zone. But Garrett's in the game here. They want to throw deep over the middle, around the 25.
Emmitt Smith is back in also. And out of the backfield, Smith cannot find the handle. Braxton on the coverage. 1:43 remaining. Remember, Dallas has burned 2 timeouts, so they're left with 1. Some of the early finals, and we'll be showing you highlights of some of these games. The Green Bay Packers win on a last-second field goal. The Giants sweep the series for the year against the Redskins. The Oilers are on a roll now. They've won 4 straight. Shula gets the record, 325, and Jerry Rice had 4 touchdown catches for the 49ers. 2nd and 10. Garrett stands in there, fires it to Williams, who stops the clock going out of bounds at the 45.
Last week, Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys attempted a 54-yard field goal with Eddie Murray that was just short. So keep in mind, you've got to be looking at getting the ball to probably the Cardinal 32, 33-yard line to get into the proverbial outer limits of Eddie Murray's range.
Remember, Charles Haley liked the fact that Jimmy Johnson tried that field goal and all the trickery and things that he's pulled off this year.
He said that showed me some real guts. He liked that one.
That's exactly what they said. 3rd down and 2. And play whistle dead. Harvey may have jumped.
You know, that's one thing Jimmy Johnson does, a lot like my former coach when I was with San Francisco, Bill Walsh, in that he doesn't hesitate to call a reverse, to call a halfback pass, to fake a punt, fake a kick, do things like that just, you know, it lets his players know, guys like Charles Haley, that, you know, I'm in the game, I'm behind you, I'm willing to do what it takes.
5 yards, still 3rd down.
All right, that's against Williams, Kevin Williams of the Cowboys. So it'll be 3rd and 7. Did you get involved in any of those trick plays back in high school your coach used to put in, you said?
All I used to do was snap it on occasion when I was playing center and hope it worked when I was playing guard.
No fumble-rooski or anything like that, huh?
No.
Please set the game clock to 1:37.
The only play they put in for me was falling on the ball, not running with it.
So they add 2 seconds to the game clock. 3rd and 7.
This ball has to be thrown down by the 35 and run for the extra yards to get into the yardage for Eddie Murray.
Aeneas Williams took a diving stab at a pass interception.
Diving stab at a dying duck.
Yep.
That ball was not thrown very well by Garrett, and all you can say for that possession by the Dallas Cowboys is it didn't hurt them. That baseball game between Seattle and Cleveland continues. Seattle leading 7-5. Bell hit another home run, so Cleveland's up to 5 runs now.
Anthony Edwards, as the Cowboys for the first time today failed to pick up a 1st down on a series. Edwards wraps it at the 17. 1:25 to go in the half. 32-yard punt. 17-0 Cowboys And the Cardinals will have all 3 timeouts to work with. Certainly use a shot of confidence here going into the locker room at halftime. Offense has been non-existent so far.
Not to take the pessimistic low road, but the most important thing for the Cardinals to do here is not do anything bad. This has got great potential for turnover when you try to make things happen.
Clark for 8 yards. Been kind of a frustrating year for Gary Clark.
Well, the groin injury, they tried to come back on and off since that opener against Philadelphia, and finally they just sat Gary Clark down. He got his first touchdown catch last year as a Phoenix Cardinal, and it's opened up doors for Ricky Kroll, but it's been an extremely frustrating year for Gary Clark.
His touchdown last week against the Eagles, the only touchdown for the Cardinals in their victory, and for the second time, Leon Lett gets a hand on it to bat it down.
You always associate batting down passes with being hit with the hands and the fingers and whatnot, but I think Leon Lett batted that down with his triceps on the back of his arm there. The ball was just drilled into his arms.
1:16 to go, 3rd and short. Johnny Bailey stepping around some defenders to pick up the first. And a timeout called. Cardinals with a first down, 1:10 to go first half. Cowboys leading 17-0. Johnny Bailey has picked up the first down for the Cardinals, who have 2 timeouts now to work with. Good piece of running on that play by Bailey. First down from the 35.
In his deep zone defense, they'll give him the short ones.
Lett coming in on Chandler. Centers shakes one tackle. Centers out to the 46, first down. Everett dragged them down after an 11-yard gain.
And this style of defense is going to get deep. They'll keep everything in front of them. It gets tougher to beat the closer you get to the end zone. Charles Haley jumped about 5 yards too early.
False start, number 64 offense, prior to the snap, 5 yards, still first down.
He was drawn off by Rick Cunningham, the right tackle for Joe Bugle.
First and 15. Man, what a tackle by Kenneth Gant. That was Johnny Bailey on the reception. Only out to the 44. 30 seconds to go. Cardinals have 2 timeouts. 2nd and 12. Trying to get out of bounds, and they give it to him. Well, they say he was stopped in play. There's the timeout called by Phoenix. 18 seconds to go. Randall Hill's reception moves it into Dallas territory. Timeout, Phoenix. All right, let's talk strategy here. 18 seconds to go. First half. Cardinals have it. First down at the Dallas 45 with 1 timeout.
Davis is a very strong leg kicker. If you're thinking field goal, you've got to get the ball down to about the 35-yard line to go for a 52, 53 yards.
It is 3rd down, by the way, and Clark dropped the football, trying to get out of bounds, recovered by Ken Norton. So that'll put an end to the Cardinal threat. Their first turnover, the recovery by Norton with 11 seconds to go in the half.
We mentioned when you're trying to make something happen and you're giving that extra effort is good, but extra effort sometimes can be mismatched against lack of concentration in just a case of not holding onto the ball by Gary Clark, and Phoenix once again gets out the 6-shooter and puts a few rounds through their foot.
Well, it doesn't appear Dallas will try anything fancy. Not when you have one guy lined lined up 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So Garrett falls to one knee. Kozar and the Cowboys head to the locker room. Jimmy Johnson says, you led us to 2 touchdown drives. 17-0 Cowboys at the end of the first half. Dallas 17, Phoenix nothing.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, makers of the exciting all-new Celica. Watch out, it's here. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Hewlett-Packard, DeskJet, and LaserJet printers. And by Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head that adjusts to every contour of your face.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. Cowboys shutting out Phoenix 17-0. We're about to start the second half. Jim Nance and Randy Cross with you here today in Dallas. And Randy, you know, everyone that's a football fan wanted to see how Bernie Kosar would perform today. I'm not really surprised at all how excellent he has played in this game.
Well, he's a quarterback that can still play a lot of real good football. He's a quarterback in a system that allows him to do what he does best, and that's take advantage of defenses taking gambles.
Well, he led the Cowboys on 2 touchdown drives. One of them set up with this play. Pass play that went 86 yards to Emmitt Smith.
That's one of those gambles. Bad tackling and a blitz killed the Cardinals on that play. Bernie saw it coming and just dumps a short one, and then the rest of it's all Emmitt.
Smith was tackled. He later scored on a 4-yard run. And then later, Kosar throws a touchdown pass to Novacek.
You know, maybe he can't run that well. Maybe he's not an active guy. Maybe he's not a guy to run the wishbone in the option with. But you know what he is? He's a quarterback you can throw the ball with, and he's a quarterback that has got lots of good years left in him.
What about the second half for Phoenix to have any chance? Can they come back?
I think the Phoenix Cardinals right now need some spark, need some life. They're basically a dead to dying football team right now. No confidence, no spring. They need a big play early.
Well, they'll have to kick to the Cowboys to start the second half. Davis pins Williams in a corner and will run it out. Williams will not make it to the 15. Derek Ware drags him down at the 14. Let's see who will start the second half at quarterback. It's going to be Bernie.
Bernie's got the helmet on and Jason's got the hat on.
Look at the Cowboy possessions under the direction of Kosar.
That fumble was an exchange fumble between Stepnoski and Kosar. And this is one of those situations like earlier. You're backed up, you'll get exotic looks, you could get blitzes. It's a new system.
Worst starting field position for the Cowboys today, and it's Lassick to the 22. So they start the second half with Kosar at quarterback, Lassick in for Smith at running back.
Watch the job that's done up front by the offensive line. That's just bodies on bodies. There's no crunching blocks being made, no real physical intimidation involved. That's just a case where those big white jerseys are all over the ones on red. They can't come off for the tackle.
That was a 9-yard run for the Alabama rookie. Second down and 1. Johnston with a flag thrown in. He's near the first down.
And that's definitely the area of holding. Guy starts getting away, you grab him.
Holding, number 61 offense, 10 yards, repeat second down.
That's big Nate Newton. We joked with Jimmy Johnson yesterday when he told us that Troy wasn't gonna address that. You know, hey, if you had 2 quarterbacks go down, who's your third emergency guy? And we said, well, would you go with Nate? Do you go with Newton at quarterback?
Don't think so.
He sort of laughed and said, no, that'll be Novacek. take a look at the sideline. Steve Berline, who's had ankle problems, had knee problems, twisted it up pretty good against New Orleans. He's got to be getting a little bit frustrated watching this right now at this point.
Would Kosar have even been signed by the Cowboys had Berline still been here as the backup for Dallas?
I don't think so. They had a quality backup. Berline can play.
Ball tipped in the air by Mike Jones, and Bankston gave chase. There's a former high school quarterback, played for his father down in Columbia, South Carolina, Mike Jones. Good young defensive tackle from North Carolina State.
And a case of the defensive line getting the arms up. You saw Mark Rippon in the last Washington game get pulled out of a game for having too many of those balls batted down by the defensive line, but that is a case right there of a nice play by a defensive lineman, not by a bad pass by a quarterback.
Interesting, you talk about the Kosar signing. Again, Berline was the backup last year. Then they brought in Hugh Millen after Berline left. They cut Millen this week to make room for Bernie. And on 3rd and 11, play by Chris Oldham, forcing the Cowboys to punt.
It's a great illustration to me of what Dallas has done here with Bernie Kosar and to the kind of organization I think fans all over this country want. They want their organizations to operate like Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson operate the Cowboys. This is a team that wants to win and is willing to do what it takes to win. You can't tell me a lot of teams in this league didn't get a chance to sign Bernie Kosar. I mean, Jerry Jones just did what it took to get Bernie Kosar.
John Jett to Bailey. Cardinals will have good field position. Bailey out of bounds, Dallas 47. 40-yard punt, 6-yard run back. And Joe Fishback injured on that play. Here's another player the Cowboys signed into the season. A special teams star back in Atlanta, later cut. And the Cowboys picked up Fishback and Elvis Patterson. As you said, Randy, this is a franchise that is the best team in pro football, but they're always tinkering and looking for ways to even get better, make them stronger.
Well, I think 3 great examples. You look at the Cowboys, you look at some of the teams that Mr. Cook, Jack Ken Cook, has put together in Washington at times, not necessarily this year, mind you. San Francisco, Eddie DeBartolo. These are owners that want to win football games, and you cannot put too much of a premium on that. You see, that's Bill Cosby with the cowboy helmet on, sitting next to Jerry Jones in Mr. Jones's box, but you have got to see, he'll do anything to get a player. Now, he's gone all the way to the Temple alums. He's got him with the ball. He's already got him in the box, practicing the grip on the ball.
First round draft choice, supplemental pick out of Temple. Bill Cosby may come in.
But this is an owner here, Jim. This is the kind of guy you want as an owner if you want to win. Teams around the league. Look at Phoenix, for example. You tell me Phoenix hasn't had a chance to make trades, draft people, pay people, get the guys it takes to be a winner. They've had the shots. They just haven't done it. Jerry Jones does it.
Well, they did make attempts in their defense in this particular offseason. Signing Clark, signing Berline and Cecil. And here on first down, Chandler gets the handoff to Ron Moore, and Moore to the 46. They for the first time, they showed signs of going out and getting some players.
Well, they definitely did. But, attempts are a lot like draft choices in the free agent market. They're less of a gamble, but, a system is a system. And, look at Ron Moore, the running back. What a great example of a guy that, people pass over. He goes to a smaller school in Pittsburgh State, and they say, well, why should we draft him? Well, you draft a guy like that because he can play football.
Second down, 7. And that's Butch Roll with his second short catch of the day. Still shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and about 5.
Gain of a couple on the play. 3rd down, 6.
And on this 3rd and 6, Chris Chandler's got to get the coordination working between his wide receivers. Ricky Prohl has been bumped and jammed all day long. They've got to find somebody to get down the field and get open.
Another audible by Chandler at the line. 3rd and 6. Here come the Cowboys on the blitz. Chandler gets it away. First down. Deepest penetration of the day. Ricky Prohl inside of the 30. Spot him at the 27. 17-yard pass play.
And a good job by Chandler of standing in there, sort of keeping his head while the bullets are flying around him. Watch the offensive line pick up the stunts up front. The running backs, Moore and Bailey, pick up the blitz. And for all that activity running and grabbing around Chandler, no one really touches him. Watch it again. There's Larry Centers picking up on one side. Bailey's on the other side. There's bodies flying, but nobody's hitting the quarterback.
Good block, by the way, by rookie Ben Coleman, number 62, lined up at left guard, in for Mark May. On first down, Chandler fires, complete. Edwards near another first. Give them 10 to the 17.
We talked about what do the Cardinals need to do to get the Cowboys' attention, to establish themselves back into this football game. It's finish off this kind of a drive. They've moved the ball. They moved it down to the territory of Dallas further than they have all day long. Joe Bugle's offense needs to finish this drive, and you don't finish the drive kicking for one as an extra point. I mean, kicking for three as a field goal. You finish it kicking an extra point.
Chandler has connected on his last 7 passes. Johnny Bailey down at the 11 on first down. Gain of about 6. Dixon Edwards makes the tackle. Johnny Bailey also returning to state where he starred at Texas A&I. Set some records. Division I AA school down there, Texas A&I, that has produced some NFL players through the years.
And he's a back like Moore. We talked about that attack running. He's the guy that attacks the line of scrimmage and makes his moves once he gets down the field.
Same school as Darrell Green of the Redskins. 2nd and 5. They go back to Bailey. And tackled at the 10. Ken Norton, who had a fumble recovery in the first half, makes the play that time. Key third down coming up for the Cardinals, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is, especially following that second down. Looked like a big hole on the right-hand side. Bailey saw it and ran. It was an illustration of that speed of the Dallas Cowboys defense. Here on third down, it is the wide receivers. Remember, Phoenix does not have a viable tight end on their roster, much less in the game.
Third down and 3. Dumps it short. Centers makes the spin move to pick up the first down. We thought the umpire might get decked this time for just a second if Centers cut to his right, but a good move by Centers to pick up the necessary yardage.
And this is a job of Larry Centers pulling down deep for a move. Watch Norton. I got him. Where'd he go? That's a whiff. 1 whiff, 2 grabs, 4 squirms, and a first down.
First and goal. Butch Roll lined up as a fullback out of the eye. In the corner, was he tripped? No call. Anthony Edwards was the target. Intended target, Larry Brown defending.
And it wasn't the first trip that Anthony Edwards is protesting with Brown. It's the first trip, not the second trip. The second one you saw, the first one was well earlier, about 5 yards before that, and that's why he couldn't get to the ball.
This ends Chandler's streak of 8 straight completions. What did you think there?
That was the second trip. I don't think it's interference. They're both looking back. They're both going after the football.
Bailey back into the backfield. 2nd and goal. Bailey driving down to the 1. Boy, he carried Ken Norton on his back.
Well, when you think power football, you think power running. Does a running back 5'8", 190 pounds come to mind? Well, in most cases, no, but following a great trap block by Lance Smith. Watch this. Grind. He's got a little help from the back with Walter Reeves pushing him a little bit, but the linebackers are on top of him too.
They've brought back in linebacker Garth Jacks. He's lined up as a fullback, leading the way for Ron Moore, perhaps. 3rd and goal from the 1. Play action fake to Moore, the flip to Roll, and incomplete. No flag. Godfrey Miles was covered covering Roll. Roll used to catch all of these touchdowns with Buffalo in goal line situations, but not this time.
Well, you're not going to catch it if you're being held. Watch Miles give him the little double tug on the hip there, and wasn't much of a hold, but it was enough of a hold. Roll didn't like it, but here comes that field goal we talked about, and this is what Phoenix did not want to do.
They have to kick the field goal, down 3 scores, so 4th and goal from the 1. We'll call it 19 yards, and Phoenix gets its first points. Greg Davis from 19.
17, Cards 3.
Boy, you drive it all the way down to the 1.
I don't think so, Jimmy. I think you go for it right there. Put yourself in the game.
So Phoenix puts the points on the board, getting the 19-yard field goal by Greg Davis. And that's one you can really kind of go back and forth on for a long time. Do you put the points on the board, or do you go ahead? Davis again angles it to Williams, a yard deep. Williams, someone got just a piece of him. It was Garth Jacks. And Williams does not make it out to the 20 for the second time in this half. Good play by Jacks. Timeout on the field with the Cowboys leading 17-3. Is their 60 Minutes anniversary show really as good as the critics say it is? Well, see for yourself when the best 1 hour in television becomes the best 2 hours in television tonight right here on CBS. Following this game, Emmitt Smith back in for Dallas. Fumbles! And boy, this would be some recovery for the Cardinals on the first play back, and they have it with Reuben Davis. That is the first turnover by the Cowboys in the 3rd quarter this season.
And it makes that decision by Joe Bugle to go for the field goal and hope for a mistake look pretty doggone good right now. Hoping for the Cowboys to make a mistake can be a real gamble, but Emmitt Smith sat on the sideline for the better part of, since that run he wasn't playing. Little reach, little problem in the coordination between Bernie and Emmitt. The ball never gets there, and Chandler gets another shot down here in the red zone.
You're right, Randy. This is why you have to take the field goal. You had to reduce it to a 2-score game, and now the Cardinals drive it to the 17. Short game by Johnny Bailey. Touchdown could make it 17-10, which was the final the first time these two played out in Phoenix.
The Cardinals to score on this Dallas defense. It will not be done on the ground, I don't think. They're going to have to throw it in the air.
3 receivers in. 2nd down and 8. Toward the end zone. No flag as Ricky Prohl was at the goal line. Jim Jeffcoat was coming in on the quarterback.
Nice all-around job by the Dallas defense and their red zone D, and that's where this defense really excels. They shrink the field, they play their zones perfectly, and there was nowhere for Chandler to go. He was hoping at best that a pole could get open where he put that ball.
3rd down and 8. Chandler to centers. Did he hold on? Yes! Touchdown, Cardinals. 17 yards to Larry Centers, right between Bill Bates and Thomas Everett.
And what a job of concentration by Larry Centers, because when Chandler throws this ball, watch it come into Centers. You make the call. Is he actually watching? Does he know this ball's coming? It's a little tough to tell from there, but just as he turned his head, that ball appeared in his stomach.
Center's 2nd touchdown catch of the season. He scored on a pass play from Chandler in the season opener at Philadelphia. And now this extra point brings brings the Cardinals within 7. Greg Davis. Sinners has come up with some big plays since that foolish personal foul penalty late in the second quarter. A couple of spin moves for first downs. Now a touchdown, and Dallas leads 17-10. 6:13 to go, third quarter. Cardinals convert on the Cowboys' first third quarter turnover of the season. And suddenly they're within 7.
No rest for Larry Centers, who made a fabulous catch on even a better throw by Chandler. Centers will be covering the kickoff.
Same corner to Williams. Williams again unable to make it to the 20-yard line mark. Almost, though, to the 19. Zordich on the hit.
Look at two things. Watch Larry Centers and watch Ben Coleman, the rookie out of Wake Forest, the job he does on Leon Lett. Chandler makes a great throw. A nice pattern by Centers, adjusting right at the end, going in front of Billy Bates, but the protection is what enabled Chandler to get that one off.
Emmitt Smith in the backfield, and he fumbled, set up that score. Kosar under center. Play action. Oldham in on Kosar, now giving chase, and he'll just toss it away. Kosar this season with Cleveland, he had thrown 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but was sacked 21 times with the Browns this year.
Right, and not all those are blitzes, Jim. I mean, I'm sure he's sacked quite a bit because of the protection he wasn't getting, and you know it's never pretty when Bernie runs. There's no other way to put it. Bernie is not what you call a stylistic strider.
I like that.
He runs in 3 or 4 different directions when he's going anywhere.
Stylistic strider. Now, 2nd and 10. Kosar. Novacek. First down, Cowboys.
Bad decision there by safety Oldham, Chris Oldham, number 27, trying to take the low road on Novacek, and unfortunately for Oldham, Novacek saw that coming, and he tried to cut the big guy down, and Novacek stepped right over for that first down.
First down from the 30. Smith for 4. Reuben Davis, first one to make contact. Rucker helped out.
Yeah, I guess Emmett's stomach feels a lot better now that the score is up to 17-10. He dropped that one on the last possession, and I'm sure those stomach problems are a lot less of a concern.
I tell you, there are a lot of upset stomachs around the city of Dallas that now that the Cardinals have made a game out of it. 2nd down and 5. Johnston again lined up on the right side as a tight end. They threw to him last time out of this formation. Again trying to get away from the trouble. And Freddie Joe Nunn flushed him out of the pocket and took him down after the pass.
And this offense of Dallas is showing the Phoenix Cardinals a few different things. And what the Phoenix Cardinals are showing the Dallas offense is a pass rush, an attack. They did it that time with 4 guys. They've done it with 5. They've done it with 6. They've done it with 7. But they've changed it up, and they've taken the momentum out of here.
Third down and 5, and let's check how the Cowboys have performed on 3rd down today. 50%. Left side, going for Irvin, and Aeneas Williams with a Chuck Cecil type hit. And the Cardinals will get the football back.
You talk about the momentum just earlier, Jim, and these Phoenix Cardinals right now are starting to believe they have got a legitimate shot in this football game. Watch the hand fighting, watch the struggle by Irvin, and then the hit by Williams.
John Jett, who offered his jersey, number 19, to Bernie Kosar when he was signed on Wednesday, but Bernie said, no, you have it. You have the rights to it. I'll take 18. jet. Running to Johnny Bailey. Bailey. 18 down at the 22 quickly. Darren Smith and Kenneth Gant. Boy, does he enjoy special teams. Makes it exciting, too. 4:20 remaining, third quarter. Cowboys by 7. 17-10, Jim Nance and Randy Cross back at Texas Stadium. How surprised are you?
I'm very surprised at the depth from which Phoenix has kind of pulled themselves back up. I think they had every reason to quit. This is not a team that wants to have any quit in it, and this is a team right now that needs another big play.
Come out throwing on first down, and look out, Johnny Bailey to the 26. Darren Smith with a shrug after that play finished. He really thought he had a great chance for the pick and maybe an open field straight ahead.
And that's one thing, if you watch Chris Chandler enough, you do notice the ball has a little air underneath it and tends to hang a little bit. If there is anticipation, there can be a pick, but this one is just thrown perfectly.
Second down and 6. The middle, Sinners smothered at the 31 by Ken Norton. So third and short coming up for Phoenix with 3:40 remaining, third quarter. Cowboys came into this game with a one-game edge on the Giants. New York has already won today. Third and 1. What do you look for here?
You look for the crowd to be a heck of a factor. Chandler cannot audibilize. Not properly.
Got 5 on the play clock. 2 on the play clock in time. Third and 1, passing for it. Gets it. Gets it to the 39-yard line with Johnny Bailey. Gain of 8.
And the Cardinals have done a nice job the last 2 series. If Dallas and Butch Davis are coordinators decided that we're going to take your receivers away on the outside, well, Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, has told Chris Chandler, let's go to the running backs. Let's use Larry Centers. Let's use Bailey. We'll get them the ball inside to loosen up the outside.
Bailey and Sinners are the split backs. First down for Phoenix. Fumble. Ball is kicked right into the arms, I believe, of Charles Haley. Johnny Bailey booted the football. And that's the second turnover today for the Cardinals. A couple of fumbles they've lost. And now the question will be, will they lose the momentum with it?
Watch the exchange. Chandler put that ball right on Bailey's arm. It never got into his proverbial breadbasket there, and just when you think that gun that Phoenix keeps shooting themselves in the foot with is out of bullets, they reload it.
I say, will they lose the momentum? Because the Cowboys with a score here could really break the hearts of the Phoenix team that's come back. And there's a fumble on the back end of that play. There is a flag down, however.
It's sort of unanimous. There are several flags down on that play.
Cardinals all say they have it. No, recovery Dallas.
He dropped the ball.
Nice job by the Phoenix defense of stopping up that play.
Hold against the Cowboys. So had it been recovered by the Phoenix Cardinals, they would have taken over.
Holding, number 79 offense, 10 yards, still second down.
Well,
Still first down.
Watch the big guy, Williams. I mean, most things this size. Look, he's off the line of scrimmage. He should be up here with Gogan. You see things this big moving. They usually have commercial plates on them. The block first, the hold second, nice call, and that is a fumble. That ball came out before Emmitt Smith hit the ground.
Reuben Davis looked like he injured a knee on that play, Randy, and he hobbled to the sideline, replaced by Ken Harvey. 20. There's Reuben. First and 20. Cowboys with Kozar still at quarterback. Novacek down at the 44. Gain of about 5 or 6.
Pass complete to Jay Novacek. Credit the stop to.
And here, this has to be a frustrating time for Jimmy Johnson and Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, because there's certain plays and certain situations they get into, they feel very comfortable calling things with Troy Aikman at quarterback. They can't be quite as confident. There's got to be several things with Bernie in there or with Garrett in there they just feel they can't go to because they don't have Troy.
Second down and 15 from the 44. Great protection. The pass caught by Irvin, and they rule him down the first time at the 28. 15 yards to Michael Irvin. Good enough for the first.
You always hear the term a quarterback throwing the ball where only his guy can get to it. This is not a planned pattern. This is Bernie Kozar seeing an edge and putting the ball where only Michael Irvin can get to it. Sort of that's a good job by a wide receiver and a great job by a catcher because you got to handle those ones low and away.
We're in the final minute of the third quarter. Irvin seemed to be limping to the line of scrimmage. First down, Smith to the 24.
Smith inside the 25 near the 20.
Rucker on the tackle. That could be the final play of the third quarter.
Keith Rucker on the stop.
This Phoenix team 3-6 on the season. Dallas 6 straight wins, 6-2. Started the win streak at Phoenix. And Kozar will steal a few extra seconds on the sideline with Jimmy Johnson. We head to the final quarter. Phoenix scored 10 unanswered in the third. But at the end of the third quarter, the score now, the Cowboys 17 and the Cardinals 10. Are threatening at the Phoenix 24-yard line. Jim Nance and Randy Cross with you today. Cowboys looking for a 7-game win streak. It'll be their longest in 10 years.
Bernie Kozar showing today why you need a veteran backup in the NFL.
3-6. Led Emmitt Smith a little too much, but that play was figured out by the Cardinal defense, Chris Oldham in particular.
Well, Bernie led Emmitt a little bit right there, but I don't know if Emmitt was exactly expecting that ball to come. I think the first pump faked on Emmitt. When it was thrown out, he looked a little shocked.
Vikings and Broncos tied 20 all, and Tim Irwin has blocked a couple of field goals. Maybe he's jumping a little higher out there in that rarefied air. Irwin.
Tim Irwin's my age. I know he's not getting off the ground any higher than he used to.
Oh, and then in the round, it's Williams. Kevin Williams. Not fool the Cardinals. That play has twice this season struck for a touchdown.
Well, 2 weeks ago against Philadelphia, the Cowboys ran that the other way to perfection. This time the perfection is on the defensive side of the ball because look at the pursuit. Everybody on that Cardinals defense seems they want to get a hat on the guy with the ball, on Williams. And the Cardinals do a great job defensively of semi-defusing a big turnover by Chandler and Bailey.
Murray, 43 yards. 43-yard try, a beauty. Good for 44 in the first quarter, 43 in the final quarter. We'll return to Texas Stadium after this message from your local station, Dallas 20-10. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Kenneth Gant back in the end zone.
Is this the NFL or the WWF? Maybe I'm just a little uptight about stuff like that. But running around like that's a good excuse for fans on the field.
And now he's back. And here he goes. Johnny Bailey on the front back. by Anthony Edwards to get Bailey free all the way to the 50.
Well, the crowd was ready for that kickoff,
Yeah,
but the kickoff team wasn't ready for that kickoff.
Really helped a lot.
The 40 is upended by Thomas.
Might have been better off had he started the kick back around the goal line.
Just
His own goal
inside.
line.
Now watch Johnny Bailey and his reaction when he sees the hole right here. Lead blocks.
Edwards, look at
You get a convoy like that on a kickoff return, you take advantage of it, and with Edwards running out there in front of him, nobody touched him until right about the time he ran out of bounds.
Ron Moore back in the lineup. He is the tailback out of the eye on first down from the 49. Moore, no. He ran right into Leon Lett. Lett has had an active afternoon here.
That wasn't one of those tackles where there's much discussion or there's much doubt. That's forward motion turning up and turns in the backpedaling quick.
They give him a yard on the progress, so second down and 9. Let's see if Chandler goes to the air. He's 8 out of 11 in this half with a touchdown toss. Up across the middle to Kroll, shy of the first by about 2 yards.
Ken Norton on the tackle at the Dallas 44-yard line.
That was a job there. Everett came up and stung Kroll pretty good and got a pretty good sting on Kenny Norton, the middle linebacker.
Third down and a long 2.
These are the situations earlier today. Chandler has used his running back circling out of the backfield.
5 on the play clock. Just got it off in time. Center will need to make the move for the first down, and I don't believe he got it. Leon Lett stopped him a yard shy. Now what do you do? 4th and 1.
Defensive charge led by number 70.
That's a play right there. There's putting it where the other guys aren't, and there's putting it where the other guys react to, and you don't have much of a choice or a chance to make something happen. Leon Lett with a good job reacting to that screen pass. Defensive lineman reads screen, and they just run dead left when the ball's thrown out there on a little dump.
4th and 2. They brought Jackson to the backfield. Maybe they're just trying to draw the Cowboys off. Oh, timeout called by Chandler.
They were not trying to draw the Cowboys off.
That tells you right there. But what do you think of that? With 12 minutes to go, down 10, going for it on, I don't know whether you'd call it a yard or a long, yeah, call it 2, 4th and 2.
I like that. You are not playing for a playoff spot. Joe Bugle and the Cardinals are playing for their professional lives.
This game summary is sponsored by McDonald's.
Kozar, great numbers. Smith with a touchdown. But the story right now on 4th down, they are not going to go for it. They have, after the timeout, elected to punt on 4th down and 2. Camarillo. Oh, that's a great bounce for the Cardinals, who down it at the 1. That worked out to perfection for the Cardinals.
Another gamble by Joe Bugle and the Cardinals that they can make the defending world's champions do something wrong and give them another break.
Anthony Edwards downs it at the 1 with 11:30 remaining.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. AT&T, we help put your world within reach. Energizer brand batteries, nothing outlasting Energizer. They keep going and going and going. And by Burger King and its everyday value menu. Have it your way. I love this place.
Back with 11:30 remaining. Dallas leading 20-10. It was 17-0 at halftime. Cardinals came out with 10 points in the third quarter. Now first down from the 1. Emmitt Smith, maybe a yard.
Again to Emmitt Smith.
Tyrone Stowe resting on top of Smith.
And Stowe did a good job. Watch the collision between Tyrone Stowe and Johnston. Bam! Stowe does a good job. Johnston actually was lower than Stowe, but he just stuffed him right where he was, right in the hole. And if you can't make the tackle immediately, what you do is you stuff the hole up with the guy that's trying to block you.
Reuben Davis is back in. We saw him hobble off earlier in this half. 2nd down and 9. Play action. Here comes Oldham, and that's got to be a safety. Intentional grounding in the end zone. And it is. Chalk up 2 for the Cardinals. Chris Oldham came in untouched.
We have intentionally grounding the football on number 18 in the end zone. It's a safety.
Talk about untouched. Watch the left side of the screen. The only reason he's untouched is there's absolutely nobody until he gets to Bernie on the Dallas Cowboys that knows that Oldham is coming.
I'm not sure that was the greatest idea in the world, just to try to unload it so feebly when you're wrapped up. That could have been caught for a touchdown, an interception in the end zone.
2-6.
Right. Now the Cardinals will get the football back as Dallas will have the free kick from its own 20. Now that decision by Bugle proves again to be a really wise one.
Just waiting to see the defending world champions, see if they'll make a mistake. And for the second consecutive time, they have made the mistake that has enabled the Cardinals to get the ball back and get some points on the board.
John Jett will boot it from the 20. Across the 40 to the 42. Next Sunday on the NFL Today, Greg and Terry will turn the clock back 30 years for a special look at the day they played football. Reflections from the players and coaches who took the field 2 days after the assassination of President Kennedy. That's next Sunday on the NFL Today. That'll be followed by the games that include Chicago at Kansas City, Dallas at Atlanta, and then late some will see the Giants at Philadelphia, the Redskins and Rams. Check your local listings for next weekend's action right here on CBS. 10:37 to go in this game. 20-12, Dallas. Johnny Bailey to the 48. Gant had a hold of him. Bumps Bailey back in the direction of the huddle.
And the Cardinals continue to go to their running backs, Centers and Bailey. They have to get these guys circling out of the backfield, using them in motion, bringing them back across the middle, because the Dallas defensive backs are being so physical with the wide receivers of the Cardinals, they're disrupting their pass patterns.
Chandler on another pass streak. He's hit his last 7, but has not thrown a lot downfield. Mostly of the short variety. This time they counter. And Centers with a hard run for a first down near the Dallas 45. You know, we saw that shot of Centers on the bench after he was called for the personal foul, and he has really kicked it into gear since that time.
Well, he definitely has, and here is just a power run. Remember, Kenny Norton, 51, the linebacker with a torn bicep muscle, there just had a hard time really getting a hold of Larry Centers. Those legs kept turning, the arms kept turning.
First down, Chandler to Bailey. And down at the 37. Ken Norton taking a little while to get up now. He's up on his feet.
See that pad on his right bicep. See that pad on his right arm. He's holding and protecting that arm. I don't know if it's not a good time right now to get Kenny Norton out of there.
2nd and 2. Cardinals quickly to the line. Run it, Bailey. Darting around and picks up the first down, I believe. That's where they spot it. This will be close.
Got a Cardinal down.
I believe it's Ben Coleman. Ben Coleman, a second-round draft choice from Wake Forest, who has played at left guard today, and for Mark May, who's played about half the game and has been superb so far.
And was doing a very good job earlier in the game. He's a big physical lineman. I mean, what else do you call a guy that's 6'6", 335 pounds? There's Coleman, 62, right on the back of that knee. You don't speculate in that situation for two reasons. One, you don't know, and two, I've been in those piles. I've been piled up in there where it's looked absolutely horrible, and it's not always as bad as it looks.
As the medical crew from the Cardinals comes onto the field, they brought the chains out, measured, and the Cardinals have a first down. Timeout on the field, 8:45 remaining. They're still working on rookie Ben Coleman. In fact, they have brought out a cart. They've been working on the knee. Already put it in a temporary cast.
This team, the Phoenix Cardinals, has just been a team from an injuries and a break standpoint of, if it wasn't for bad luck, they wouldn't have any.
Why don't you take us around the league with Randy Cross?
Well, that's a big one there for Green Bay, getting that last-second field goal from Chris Jackie. It's a tough situation right now down in New Orleans for Jim Moore and those Saints, and 49ers, Jerry Rice.
Kind of like a game at Atlanta a few years ago. I think you were still playing then, weren't you?
That was Charles Dimmery's debacle down there in Atlanta. He went on to go to Denver and try to forget that.
It was a 5-touchdown game against the Falcons.
Giants trying to keep pace with these Cowboys, and Miami, that's great. I'm really glad for Don Shula, because if this thing would have gone much longer, I think it would have been a lot tougher on these Dolphins to keep concentrating. And here's your question of the year. How do you figure Houston? Is that the same team that got beat up by the LA Rams, or have they really rallied? There's a ball game.
Kansas City has come back, huh?
Not many people gave Kansas City much of a chance, and 7 turnovers for Cleveland.
More turnovers than points. 7 turnovers, 5 points.
And there's the Jets trying to fight through an old nemesis. It seems they never play good against the Colts.
Falcons shutting somebody out. The Rams in this case, and another injury for the Cardinals. And a very supportive ovation from the Cowboy fans. Great to see. Mark May will return to the left guard spot.
And the Cardinals, with this break, need to somehow maintain what momentum they have offensively. As you look at Mark May, and he'll be a big part of it, because Chris Chandler's going to need protection. The running game won't be as big a feature as throwing the ball to the running backs will be.
First down and 10. Cowboys showing blitz. Bailey trying to get by the wave and advances the football to the 32. Remember, they're still down 2 scores, 20-12. Dallas with 8:20 remaining. You don't have to get a touchdown on this possession if you're the Cardinals.
With 8 minutes to go, they have to figure with the Dallas offense, if the offense can get motivated, they may not see the ball again. So I really think they need a touchdown on this possession.
Second down, Chandler. Underneath the coverage again to the 29. That's a Johnny Bailey. You know, you say that, and I think back to the first game between these two, the one that Dallas won 17-10. The Cardinals waited the last 6 minutes to try to get the football back with a chance to tie it, but the Cowboys kept possession the rest of the game. They ran out the clock the last 6 minutes that first time.
I mean, been 7 games since Dallas given up a touchdown in the 4th quarter. I just think this is a situation that you got to have 7, because like you just made the point you made in the last Cardinal game, they might not get it back.
3rd and 4, and Anthony Edwards saved an interception. Larry Brown was poised for the pick. And now they'll bring out Greg Davis. That was a heads-up play. Brown was on the coverage, very tight coverage.
Jump ball, initially tipped.
And pulls him away from it.
That was a good job by Edwards.
Davis, oddly enough, will attempt a field goal between 40 and 49 yards. He has made only 1 of 5 between the 40s. He's 2 for 2 over 50. He's had a harder time in this range. 47 yards to move them within a score. Greg Davis got it. 20 to 15 Dallas. 7:11 remaining in this game.
Now it's time for the Dallas Cowboys offense. Can they get their offense back pumped up and back moving again under Bernie Kosar? And the people they'll take a look at, they've got the greatest skill people in the league as a group, but how about looking at the offensive line?
Joe Bugle charged. This is a Phoenix team heading into the final bye week of the season. Next week, Phoenix will have the week off. That's the last time that any teams will have a vacation midseason. And then they'll come back with a game at the Giants. And the Phoenix schedule gets surprisingly easier down the stretch. They had a midsection part of the schedule that was very brutal. And now we'll see what the Dallas Cowboys can do. They led 17-0 at halftime. Now it's 20 to 15.
All the process of maturing as a champion for the Cowboys, they have to learn you can't turn it on and off.
Kicking it, Kevin Smith from a yard deep. Smith with a good run back to the 30. They had not had any success running back kicks in this half. Kevin Williams, in fact, 3 times failed to get it to the 20, but now Kevin Smith comes in and races to the 30. So a good run back. 7:01 remaining. Jim Nance with Randy Cross from Texas Stadium. You know, the Cardinals, when they lose, it seems to always be by 6 points or less. Now, the one exception this year, a 14-point drubbing at the hands of the 49ers. First down pitch. Here's Emmitt Smith diving for 3. Rucker rode him down with Eric Hill. How would you assess the day for Emmitt Smith?
Oh, it's been a rough one. One good long pass play, and you know he's had the upset stomach. He fumbled the ball, and the next time he came into the ball game, you know, as a group, as an offense, this Dallas offense has to sort of put everything that's happened, you know, the last 53 minutes or so, and this is what's important: is this possession. This must be like an opening of the game, grind it out, 7-minute drive.
2nd, 7. Throw it on 2nd down. Kosar all kinds of time. Now coming out of the pocket and flipping it instead to Emmitt Smith. And he's about a yard shy of the first. A little improvising there.
Well, that's the beauty of having that kind of talent around you. You're going to scramble. You're not a runner. You don't move real good. You're forced to start running. You look up and who's in front of you but number 22, and you just sort of half toss it, half shovel it right in front of you.
3rd and less than a yard. Clock running with 5:45 remaining. 2 tight ends.
Follow Johnston. He will take you to the ball.
Smith got it. Got it. First down for Dallas at the 42. That's worth a couple of minutes on the clock. 5:25 and counting.
In the first half, they had a goal line play where Lorenzo Lynch made a great play right over that right side of the Dallas Cowboys, but right here where they needed the yards, they had to get it. They went back behind Williams and Gogan in the lead block of Johnston and got it.
Smith running at 3 yards a clip today. 21 for 69 and a touchdown. That was only the third first down of this half for the Cowboys. Smith got away from Hill and Bankston. Now Lynch bumps him out of bounds. And that'll stop the clock at 4:49. Vikings have taken the lead.
The Cowboys won't be in a hurry to do anything here. What you want to concentrate on in this situation is if you have an opportunity to stay in bounds, you stay in bounds. You keep that clock running, and you just lean and lean and lean and lean.
2nd and 7. Over to Smith. Away from a couple of Cardinals, but will be about 3 yards shy. Stays in the field of play. Clock running now, approaching 4:30 to go. Remember, the Cardinals used a timeout already in this half. They have 2 remaining. And here's a pivotal play. It'll be 3rd and 3. Rich Shermer's defense. There's the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals.
And this is a defense that needs to make something happen right here on this play, Jim.
Remember, they never got the ball back in the last 6 minutes the first time this season. Kosar calls the timeout with 1 second on the down clock.
And that draws a deep breath from Jimmy Johnson over on the sidelines. He knows he's working under a bit of a handicap with Bernie right now, with the offense being the way it is, and there's got to be the conference going on in this situation where Jimmy wants to know from upstairs and Norv Turner, you know, what do we do in this spot? Well, what is the play? You see Norv there center of the screen with the glasses on. You know, what do we do in this situation? Where do we want to go? Bernie, what do you feel the most comfortable with? It's 3rd and about, we call it 2 yards, Jim. I think you got to like the fact you go after that right side. If you're gonna run it, you got to run it there. Pass in this situation doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the Cowboys unless they've got a real package of short yardage goal line things that Bernie feels comfortable with.
Eric Hill, Ken Harvey come in. It's 3rd down. Let's call it the short 3. Mark Tuanay observing. Line up on that left side. Almost got the Cardinals to jump. Over on the side. Hill needs to make the play. Gets away from him. Smith has the first down for the Dallas Cowboys. Eric Hill had him. Well, needed to get him. He was right there one-on-one with Emmitt Smith, and that is why this guy is so good.
Well, you've heard the term that an offensive player in bad weather has the advantage because he knows where he's going and the defender doesn't. Emmitt Smith knows where he's going. There's nothing Hill can do about it. Because, I mean, on models like Hill, they don't put those power brakes on them like they put the power brakes on the Smiths of this world. The Smiths and the Barry Sanders. They're put together in a whole different factory.
That's the 2nd time in his career he's gone over 100 yards receiving. First down. Smith plowing ahead for 5, maybe 6. And we approach 3 minutes remaining. Tuanay with a good block on that left side. Timeout by the Cardinals, leaving them with 1.
And the Cardinals are looking at a situation, and Joe Bugle knows it, that looks just like the last time they met. You mentioned it earlier. I mean, give the ball back to Dallas, and they'll throw if they have to, but Joe Bugle knows the Dallas Cowboys will just want to play bludgeon ball with them from this point out.
Kosar has been the quarterback really the second half and has played 3/4 of the day if you averaged it out, maybe even a little more than that. Garrett was in for 3 series.
And Kozar's done a fabulous job subbing for Troy Aikman there. And, you know, Troy is going to be out. He missed this game. He'll probably miss Atlanta. He might miss Miami. They can't take a chance on Troy's thing being a lingering hamstring like Joe Montana's. And Kozar has proven today he can handle this offense and guide this team.
Second down and 5. Smith. Boy, working hard to get 3 yards. And Zordich calls for the last time out. That's it for Phoenix. 2:53 remaining. And they cannot stop the clock again, Phoenix. Only the 2-minute warning ahead.
Live from the locker room on the Cowboys post-game show with Brad Chen and Michael Ray, airing on KTXA Channel 21 live immediately after every game.
We'd like to welcome the audience that has been watching the Atlanta Falcons shut out the Los Angeles Rams 13-0, third win of the year for the Falcons. Here, Dallas leads 20-15. Under 3 minutes remaining. Jim Nantz and Randy Cross on the scene at Texas Stadium. Dallas led 17-0 at halftime. The Cardinals scored 10 in the third. Dallas got a field goal to make it 20-10. Then a safety by the Cardinals defense, forcing an intentional grounding in the end zone by Kozar. Then a field goal by Greg Davis. And it's 20-15, but the Cardinals are out of timeouts in a third and short situation coming up for Dallas.
All 8 plays on this drive, their money guy, Emmett, touched the ball.
Third will call it 2. 37 of Phoenix. Play action fake. They toss it, and it's dropped by the rookie Joey Mickey, a rookie from Oklahoma. Dave Duerson was blitzing the quarterback. He came rushing in on Kozar, and the Cardinals will get the ball back.
This is a quick roll, or as quick roll as Bernie's going to do, but he throws the ball in a very bad spot for Joey Mickey. He gets him right in the hands. The ball was put exactly where it should have been. The catch wasn't made.
John Jett standing near midfield. Anthony Edwards at the 10. To down it near the 12. The flag is down at the line of scrimmage. It's against the Cowboys.
The Cardinals going to make him kick it again just on the chance that they get a little bit better field position.
Ineligible downfield on the kicking team, number 59. 5 yards, still 4th down.
This is one of those situations where I guess you'd have to gamble for it. It could backfire a little bit too. You could end up pinned back at the inside of the 5-yard line.
You saw the kick that Rich Camarillo put on Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys that really sort of created that safety situation earlier. So that's the bad side of the coin. The good side of the coin from the Phoenix Cardinals standpoint is they're hoping this ball goes into the end zone and they get it out on the 20, or they're hoping for a shank.
Ineligible downfield on the kicking team is declined. 1st down, Phoenix.
You know, this season, the punter for the Cowboys, John Jett, has only 1 touchback, and 10 times he's punted inside of the 20. So, tough call, but the Cardinals elect to start a drive where they must take it now 88 yards from their own 12-yard line. No timeouts, and 2:37 remaining.
Well, they pushed it back and decided differently, but this puts all the pressure. Everything goes on to the quarterback at this point. Chris Chandler's got to make the plays.
In the area of Larry Centers and avoiding a sack back at the 2-yard line, Tony Tolbert had an arm on Chandler. pass, center, straight ahead, center. Across the 20, first down to the 25. And for those of you who are just now tuning in to watch the 25th year anniversary special for 60 minutes, that'll be coming up next. That'll follow this game. It is coming down to the end. 2 minutes, approaching 2 minutes to go. Cardinals trailing by 5. Chandler, left side. Ricky Prohl diving. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Ricky Prohl near the first down. They'll measure for it during the 2-minute warning. Dallas looking for its 7th straight win, trying to cling on as the Bugle and the Cardinals are threatening. Jim Nance and Randy Cross back at Texas Stadium. The Cardinals have stormed back from 17 down to within 5. Randy, with 2 minutes remaining, they do have a first down. How surprised are you?
I'm not real surprised at this point. Joe Bugle's made a lot of gambles, and his gambles have paid off. The key right now is going to be Chris Chandler, the quarterback, because I was on a team that was known for great comebacks, but I never had anybody refer to me to the great comebacks the offensive line made. The comebacks are led by quarterbacks, and this is one they'll remember for a long time if Chris Chandler can pull this off.
Bugle called this game today the ultimate challenge for his 3-6 Cardinals. And across the middle, they're now in Dallas territory at the 47 with Ricky Prohl.
And on the last 2 plays, for the first time really in this game, Chandler has managed to get the ball to his wide receivers. No more dumping and dinking to the running backs. He's found a way to get the ball to Ricky Prohl.
No timeouts for the Cardinals, but now from the Dallas 48. Chandler hit. Fumble picked up by Rick Cunningham, and he's down at the 45. Chandler may be hurt. He was flattened by Jim Jeffcoat.
That's a rough one for Chandler because he never sees this coming. Watch the rush.
We have an incomplete pass on the field.
Ruling this incomplete. They're saying the arm was moving forward as he was hit.
How about the moves with Rick Cunningham?
Right helmet under the arm. I mean, Cunningham does an admirable job of picking up and going afterwards, but for the Phoenix Cardinals, the health of 17 is the most important thing, and there won't be much health if he keeps getting hit like
Please
that.
set the game clock to 1:25, 1 minute, 25 seconds. Thank you.
Put an extra 5 seconds on the game clock. 60 minutes, the anniversary show is coming up next. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 48. And the backup quarterback today is Steve Berline, the starter most of the season, but he has had a knee injury the last 2 weeks. So Chandler roughed up but ready on 2nd down. Cole again. Bill Bates drags him down at the 41. Field goal will not do them any good at all. They trail by 5, but driving, having started this series at their own 12, having come back from 17-0 deficit at halftime. 3rd and 3, and that was Kenneth Gant knocking it away. Now it'll be 4th down, Randy.
You got to have the first down here, and you got to get the ball past the first down marker. You can't throw it behind it and hope someone breaks a tackle. This pass must go past the first down marker to give them a chance to get another play where it's going to be critical to break tackles. You don't worry about breaking tackles. You throw it past the marker.
1:02 remaining. 4th and 3, and let's watch.
Interception, who gets a chance to come back and make up for it. Dallas bringing the blitz. Gant does a nice job of laying off inside, sort of suckering Chandler, and when Chandler goes to Prohl, stepping in front and making the pick.
That short stuff across the middle had been open the entire second half, but on a 4th down play, the Cowboys jump in with the interception, and now they'll run out the clock. This game presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Dallas Cowboys, and the National Football League is prohibited. So one more snap, and the Cowboys will be 7-2 and maintain their 1-game edge on the New York Giants. Our thanks go out to our producer today, Mark Wolf. This game directed by Mike Arnold. Associate producer Lance Barrow, and broadcast associate John Coleman'sberger. Senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gordon, and the executive in charge of production is Rick Gentile. Dallas has won 7 straight. The Cardinals dropped to 3-7. 20-15, the final. The Cowboys hold on.